Hi, welcome. It's Dr. Allison J.K. here, founder of the Vibrational Upgrade System. So I wonder if you're one of the folks who feel as if there's a glass ceiling that you just can't break through to the next level, and you sense that there's this next level that you're meant to reach in your life, and it's pounding at you in not just a subtle way, and you just don't know the how to access it, to get to that next level. I wonder if you have a world-changing vision or dream or mission, and you may know some of the how and you've gone about it, but it's just too slow in its growth, and you want to get the momentum or the flow going. So you're likely someone who has read a bunch of books or done a lot of programs or just a few programs, and you've been to some maybe retreats, workshops, done some yoga, done some meditation, worked with the law of attraction, right? Worked on manifesting. And you just have the sense that there's more that you could be bringing in and faster. You could access more of your manifestation or manifesting capacities and faster. Or you could be bringing in more money to help support your mission, and that could be coming in faster, and it's not. Or you could be more courageous with following your creative visions, and you're not. Or you could be implementing more action steps based on intuitive guidance, and that's coming in slowly. I'm speaking to the Maverick in you, from one Maverick to another. And there's all this info that's come into you, right, in the last 10 years or so about the law of attraction and how to work that to manifest what you desire, and visualizations and affirmations, and read that book or attend that retreat, and if you just do that, then you'll be able to create the life that you're here to create. And that's just not accurate. We want to bring forth the Maverick that's you, that you be. We want to have you aligned in such a way that we're having you hear the Maverick in you, hear what works for you organically, bringing it in step by step, intuitively, rather than tuning into what others are doing and what has worked for others and the formulas for others. Really bring forth your own unique Maverickness. So maybe you've been using that intellect of yours because you're highly successful already, and that's how you've created the success in the old paradigm, right? And you were able to figure it out, and you were able to come up with those formulas and those 5-step plans and follow them and implement them and have the success. And nowadays you're attempting to do it that way too, but instead you're finding yourself toiling away late night on your business and working really hard to figure it out and to implement the plans, and hitting roadblocks, or frustrated because you can't get to that next level. We need to be bringing forth the Maverick in you now, the innovator in you now. We want to wipe clear what the start of the spiritual awakening times around 2012, officially December 21st, 2012, has brought in for what is considered humanity's greatest evolutionary leap, 2012 to 2032, because we're at a new phase as we bring in the new era. We need you on. We want the Maverick in you, the world game changer, the world changer coming forward. And whether that's like at the level of Steve Jobs, or it's the level of making massive quilts that remind people of their mother's love, and everything in between, and anything not mentioned, right? But bringing forth your own unique brilliance is what we're talking about. So in this new phase of this 20-year window of our greatest evolutionary leap, it feels very clear to me, we want to run a clearing on you in an activation to activate your beginner's mind, not to wipe clean what you've taken in that has been essential for you and that has helped you on your path towards bringing forth your game-changing Maverick. But we do want to wipe clear the clutter, considering this is a reset. So I want you to go ahead and get comfortable, and I'm going to go ahead and run. I am the founder of the Vibrational Upgrade System, and I'm going to run a vibrational upgrade on you. So why don't you sit back and relax, taking in all of that. You don't want to be driving or caring for anybody or having to pay attention to anything, because you're probably going to get spacey. You may yawn, you may feel some heat, you may feel sudden pain as the energy gets through to what's been chronically blocked. You might feel itchy, your ears might ring a little bit. All of those are normal reactions. I'm going to get silent for a moment. So all of the definitions you have, all of the conclusions you have, all of the beliefs you have around how the law of attraction does and doesn't work, how manifesting does and doesn't work, how the universe does and doesn't work, how you work with it all, how successful you've been or not been with using it all the studies you've done this far that are in any way contributing to limiting you, opening up to the new that would help you thrive more now, moving forward, and now, would you be willing to burn up with the flames of transmutation? You might want to say yes out loud, invite to see energy and more. So any and all imprints from your parents and lineage, any and all conditioning, any and all free-floating thoughts and traumas, all karma as appropriate, contracts, vows, across all timelines and lifetimes, and at all levels of consciousness, any beliefs or judgments, definitions, expectations, projections. We're going to burn all of this up now with the flames of transmutation to help you have a beginner's mind and thrive in the new. You might want to inhale and exhale. Don't worry if you don't feel anything, it's still working. Activating the upgrade now. So I need all latent keys and codes, ancient wisdom, latent talents, gifts within you, and any and all blessings and support possible to bring this all into alignment for your highest possibilities and your highest potential to be realized. Activating the upgrade now. And in this reset time, one of the major things I want to help you reset is that brilliant problem solver that you are, the nurturer inherently that you be, the giving that you naturally do. And because you're so strong, because you're so capable, you go in there and help and problem solve and fix.
And we don't need to have you doing that anymore. In fact, when I hear my client, and this is one of my favorite ones to help people get free of, like, you may be feeling you have this big mission and this big purpose in life, but is that actually true, or is that an old contract? And that's worn out for the times we're in now, because every person's responsible now for themselves. And that act of co-creation, it is centered upon and hinges upon choice, right? You know how you felt. You may have gotten turned on to a new practitioner, a new speaker, a new author, a new book, a new technique, and you want to just share it to help everybody uplift, and they don't want to hear it, right? Some of them. So everybody's on their own path, and anything has to be initiated by each individual's choice. So now we're talking about you pulling back, saving your love and nurturing and giving and passion, and redirecting it towards what actually is in alignment for you now, today, in this reset, at this pivotal point, this key marker of that 20-year window. And now focusing on even asking, is that mission, that big mission, really what I want to be doing? Because when I see, even just last night on my group signature program, Magic Manifestation and Money Flow, a bunch of them were talking about how much freer they feel, how much their shoulders feel less weighted down, how they feel less burdened, how much lighter they feel. And they were laughing and giggling and playful halfway through the call from the clearings I was doing around this, because it's just not meant to be only on your shoulders. That's old. That's the old paradigm. And it's not meant to only be your job or a few of the leaders to help. And maybe it's not even your job to help. Maybe it's your job to create the most incredible product that is the healthiest form of food X or supplement Y, or the most joyous craft that people look at and get inspired, and it lifts their spirits for the day. You know, the missions are taking different form now. And so I love cutting the ties with the old contracts that people show up having that still seems to pulse behind the scenes, driving them and feeling like they have to be up to this big mission in order to live up to their potential. It's just a misconception, and it's a carryover, and it's not appropriate any longer. And I would love to help you get that one clear. Yeah, you can hear my voice. It has a different tone to it because it has so much weight to it on your shoulders, and the burdening that I see and the weighing down that I see people suffer from that. So getting free of that then, and being able to travel and being able to let yourself have a life of adventure and a life of fun and more joy and more resilience and more upliftment and more playfulness and more money and abundance and ease with it coming in. You feel the difference between those two tones? The heavy, the slow versus how much lighter and faster I just got. That's in great part one of the main shifts I'm helping people through now. And there's another one I want to talk about too. Do you tend to resist authority, or have an innate resistance to authority, or even maybe not that far, but you rebel naturally because you are the game-changing maverick that you are? And from one maverick to another here, the interesting thing about this is when rebellion is done for rebellion's sake out of habit, it's just another old behavioral pattern from old conditioning, contracts, beliefs, etc., that we can clear out so that you can use that rebellion to your benefit and not rebel and end up repelling when you're just like spraying the rebellion energy throughout your life. It actually pushes away opportunities, possibilities, and money. And when we clear that, you're able to actually allow yourself to have the support that actually feeds you and uplifts you and redirects you into your alignment with what you genuinely do want to say yes to, instead of that misplaced rebellion. And then you see the movement forward happening. You see the opportunities flying in. You see the money to fund these dreams flying in. You see people showing up to help bring it together. when that resistance plug is taken away. It's just brilliant. And there's one more thing. I know too, and I've already spoken about following, the laws of manifestation, the law of attraction, and reading all the books and journaling and affirmations and visualizing. But it also combining that with like being a business owner and all of the business offers that are out there in ads in your social media feeds, do this program, implement these strategies. This is what we've done. And so you get up to doing that, and the game-changing maverick that you are also empathic or empathetic, and you're sensitive. And so when you may be hitting a wall and you're meant to be up-leveling, you may go for those strategies, and you may be finding yourself rubbing up against it not working. And then you make yourself bad and wrong. When in fact, what we need to do is not make yourself bad and wrong, but really help bring forth and let shine you just being you. You in the vibration of being you is what we need as a game-changing maverick in your truest desires and passions today, and bringing those forward. And then everything's going to light up like a Christmas tree, and everything gets easier. Now, I'm not one of the ones as a maverick, the maverick that I am. I haven't found myself making myself bad and wrong. I've lived up and out of this system I grew up in by being an expat at multiple different times throughout my life for extended periods, including that decade in Asia. So, yet I see thousands of people that I've been working with have that sense of when they've gone for something and they're using it, and it may have been too big of a dream, or they have been told there's no way that's going to work. You can't do that. That's way too expansive. And they then go into the implementation of those other strategies, questioning themselves, thinking, well, this hasn't worked yet. Maybe they're right. Maybe this can't work. And so you squeeze yourself down, you contract yourself, you make yourself smaller, and you implement their strategies, and you get totally derailed or somewhat derailed from listening to yourself and bringing forth your own passion in physicalized form that is a revenue stream, should you desire that. And then you're on your own path, listening and taking action based on that listening to your guidance. So that almost, it's like that sense of being told you're too much. So it's like when you're wildly free and expansive, and having been somewhat shut down because the people around you can't handle that level of freedom being exhibited, or that level of self-direction being exhibited, and so they want to shut that down. And you may have caved to that in one way or another, or questioned yourself, or shut yourself down, or turned your light down. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And when we clear out all of the programming, all of the causes for that, I want to say compromising in order to fit in, or compromising in order to, you fill in the blank why that compromise was made. That is complete now. It is reset time now. And what you can be bringing forward when I get your back with this support of your own unique path, with my guidance, and then your guidance eventually taking over as we clear out the more disruptive, distracting behavioral patterns that have caused a lack of clarity. Woo! Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and move into clearing out the old and activate this reset button within you. And innovation is called for moving forward now, as we really shrug off the old, what we've just been through, and create and innovate the new era and this newness within our own lives. So all of the places where you're still accustomed and habituated to what it has been, all the places where the old is blocking you from seeing and perceiving in creating from that the new. Would you be willing to burn all of that up with the flames of transmutation? I didn't expect to do this one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes.
Okay. So here I feel like you're going to want to tune into the solar plexus, the heart and the throat. It seems more that whole column of those three, 4, and 5. So any and all karma as appropriate. That's old, that's done, that's complete, but that is in any way causing ripples or repetition in your life to continue to perpetuate the past and the old that's worn out. We're burning all of that karma up as appropriate. It's interesting. I just got shown like the image of some of you rising. Some of you may feel like you want to be lifting your arms out to the side and then up over your head so that your outside of your hands meet above your head. It's a good sign for karma clearing, especially. All free floating thoughts and traumas, especially the looping aspect that traumas give, where traumas are like a skipping CD and keep you in that same loop. We ask that that further be broken through and that looping be ceased now. Not just cleared, but ceased. And that trauma dropped with its power to perpetuate the past, including the conclusions that you've come up with from that trauma as to how you now had to live after it occurred. But burning all of that up with the flames of transmutation. All of the imprints from your parents and lineage that are worn out from the old paradigm that they passed down, and anything else that have created or allowed these old patterns that are no longer serving you to perpetuate, burning all of those up. And all the conditioning, all of the contracts, oaths, vows, and swearings across all timelines and lifetimes, and all of the definitions, the conclusions, the beliefs, the expectations of how you are in life, how life is with you, how money is in life, how good fortune and good luck are in life, how you are in business, all those projections and expectations, burning all of it up now with the flames of transmutation so that the new has a much easier time being birthed through you. That was. Some of you may want to shake your heads and even your shoulders. Please inhale and exhale. Some of you know who you are. Front of the throat chakra is getting a lot of clearing for increased ease with choosing what you actually desire, more speaking up for yourself, more choosing from possibilities rather than old, all of that. In this, I'm actually being called, I'm going to tone for the fifth chakra. You can feel free to do it with me. Tongue is to the roof of the, No, that's not. Let's do this one instead. Let's make the sound EH. Feel how much clearer the field is. Wow. So I ask that that clearing continue to run, clearing out the old, working on continuing to drop all cording from old karma, old karmic contracts, with grace and ease as appropriate for each of these beloveds, highest and best, for the next 30 days while activating the upgrade now. So any all latent keys and codes and ancient wisdom and inherent talents within you that wants to be and can be brought forward now to bless the new and bless you with innovation and an all blessings and support possible to bring this all into alignment with your at least fifth dimensional divine blueprint for your highest possibilities and your highest potential to be realized, activating the upgrade now. So if you're hearing quiet, if you're hearing or perceiving peace and stillness and more spaciousness, well done, good receiving. If you're not, no worries, there's more that's clearing out, but it was to bring you present with your presence that's required for the innovation, for the new here, now.
So what I'm going to do now is, while I continue, I want you to please take your right hand and put it at your occipital lobe, the bump in your brain stem. Put your palm over that area as I start to run another upgrade to your brain stem. Go ahead and inhale and exhale. Can we remove your hand and just let that run while I continue to talk about the potentials? And so it's been a phenomenal time to be alive as this old paradigm is crashing and as the new paradigm isn't yet in place. Meanwhile, I've been tuning and training students in my vibrational upgrade system and professionalizing the field of energy medicine. The steady line through this is understand the techniques to tweak your energy, your subtle energy system and your consciousness, so that you can respond to the spiritual awakening times. Because that's what's being asked of us, is to awaken to what's beyond the physical. And so much is coming into rebalancing the physical and the metaphysical, the material and the spiritual, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. So it's been interesting this past bit of time, because I've tended to bring in a lot of leaders, whether they're retired senators or they're other politicians or scientists or lawyers or doctors or CEOs or CFOs or business owners or entrepreneurs. I tend to have a lot of leaders. That's not all, so please don't be intimidated if you're not any of those. But if you have a sense of something wanting to get up leveled in your life and there's more potential to tap, that seems to be who comes in and works with me historically. So how do you tap into that potential? Well, you live from the understanding that there's more possibilities than you're physically, visually seeing right now, as I did, to have that childlike wonder. And then when I asked, okay, what else is possible? This isn't acceptable, the sense of being caged and not having fun and adventure. So if you look at our consciousness, a very generous estimate is that 85% of our choices we make in our daily life are made from the unconscious and the subconscious, and the conscious mind is at most only responsible for making 15% of our choices on a day-to-day basis throughout the day, every day. So 15% is what you hear for your thoughts in your mind. That means at least, and from my practice, seeing all of the people, I have tens of thousands at this point I've worked with, it's much more than 85%. It feels like there's only maybe 8 to 10% that the person's using to make their daily choices from, and everything else is lodged back in the subconscious, meaning not conscious, and in the unconscious, meaning not conscious. So sub is under and un is not. So neither of those levels can you hear the conscious thoughts from. Yet that's where your beliefs lie. So, and your conditioning lies, and the traumas lie. So, and your karma lies. So by clearing out that back of the house consciousness, that's where we can get you having more free-flowing consciousness up to the conscious mind level, while releasing old traumas, old conditioning, old imprints, old karma, old contracts from the relevant chakras. I point to my body, so that the body becomes less blocked and more energy is flowing throughout the body, and you're having more access to much more consciousness. And in that, it's much more awakened consciousness, much more alive and vibrant consciousness that is much more connected. And as overall we get your field more open and flowing, like I just described, and the chakras are open and turning as a vital life, as a wheel, which is what they mean, and they're the intersection of the mind, body, and spirit. So we're approaching from a holistic perspective, all layers of you. Then they become vortices, and they emanate out. And if you add all your chakras up together, that whole vortices emanating out becomes one great field. So you become a localized field, and then there's the greater Tao all around us. And I teach my students in Magic, Manifestation, and Money Flow. There's a module actually within the first 4 weeks that is about how to go out and learn how to interact with and see the greater field of unlimited possibilities, or the Tao interacting back. And we hook you up with that field of unlimited possibilities. And what gets brought forward are the possibilities best for you, best for your Maverick game-changing self, and what wants to come through you now, individualized to you, organically, step by step. So in these new times, with the requirement for innovation, what would it take for you to step forward and just drop the coat, the old coat? Don't even give it to the recycling or the center or the thrift store. Make something new out of it. Almost like the snake medicine, transmutation. So you heard in my clearing, the flames of transmutation. That's my medicine that I bring. This medicine of bringing forth the Maverick in you. Here I am, a Maverick, in many different ways. I mean, I've known I'm a pioneer. I've said to my parents for decades, I see things about 10 years before it hits the masses, and they've seen that come true. For example, organic produce, way before it became something that I was spending my money on, and they were wondering why I was spending so much more money on it. And holistic health and wellness and meditation and yoga, all of that. From when I saw in my 3rd semester of my bachelor's program as a psych major, this isn't showing me how to be the happiest, most thriving versions of us or of myself. And so I switched majors. And then as a political advisor, helping get other Mavericks elected to Congress at both state and federal level to protect the environment. And I ended up learning how to meditate in order to, because I'd had so much success, in order to deal with the stress. And then flash forward later on to my master's, as I was graduating with my master's in public administration and focusing on environmental policy and looking at where is there more change in the system or outside the system, I ultimately saw that if change is going to happen, it's not yet ready for the fossil fuels to be dropped at that time. It's change one by one consciousness and bringing forth a vibrational upgrade collectively with that 100th monkey theory. And so when I was teaching in the classroom using my bachelor's, ultimately that was in English Lit, I had learned my first modality of energy medicine and taught meditation to adults and then kids in the classroom, as well as ran energy medicine and holistic health and wellness sessions alongside classroom teaching. Asked, how does it get more adventurous, abundant, and fun than this? How do I get more robust results for my clients? And the answer ended up, I chose to move to Asia and teach in the international school system and was an administrator because I saw that as a seat of who understood the flow of energy. And so I've returned to the States now, dropping the classroom teaching and taking this work full time in these most incredibly ripe times, learning about what the Mayans predicted in this age of Aquarius we're moving into, and how Yogi Bhajan predicted this as a new time. And specific to this year, it's so clear so much new wants to come in as we've spent the last 10 years watching the old paradigm crumble. So some of that contextualizes inhaling, feel the upgrade in the brainstem, where we're meant to be moving into. And so having you on now and able to magnetize to you as an activated mind, body, spirit, whole aligned system, new possibilities that will actually help your individual maverick self bring forth what you're here to birth and contribute to humanity's greatest evolutionary leap is what I'm up to. And so I want to invite you now to go for more. Beautiful crow medicine, reminding us of the magic in our daily choices that is accessible through our daily choices, says the crow. And there's a crow on the front cover of my most recent book, The Dragon Master Creatrix. And so bringing forth your maverick dragon, I invite you to hop on a call with either myself and more likely my team, where we're going to go ahead and further help you access that dragon maverick self you be. And so this is a free call for you, and there's a link here for you to click on, but you want to take action now. No more, sitting on the fence. We need you now, activated, ready, and taking action and building and being the vibration of the maverick self you be, and honoring yourself while awakened, alive, and ready to thrive. Yeah, these slots fill up really quickly. It's about a 45-minute call where they'll be running, you'll see, but it will help, what is done on the call will help bring forth not only what's currently blocking, but also more what the potential is. And then if it's a fit, we'll go ahead and see about inviting you into the best possible service or program in order to get more, because as I said, there are layers and it's like a family of beliefs entangled in a ball of yarn. And then I find that as I peel them back, what people show up like in the first week when somebody first signs up. Here's some examples that you can also get and expect, because they're really typical. Somebody signs up for my signature program, Magic Manifestation and Money Flow. Within an hour, that same afternoon, after she dropped on her credit card the four-figure investment in herself to work with me in this program, she had somebody come in, the first customer of the day, into her brick and mortar clothing store, and she made back half of what she had just invested. And I asked her, is this an uncommon amount to invest in clothing? Are you running a boutique or upscale clothing shop? And she's like, it was extraordinary. A woman came in a corporate job that she wasn't enjoying, didn't feel like she was able to honor her maverick self within that setting, and immediately got a $3,000 raise. And then she actually was invited to join the mastermind, and during that time got a $30,000 raise. Another maverick woman came in with this this really great idea of what she wanted to give birth to, kind of like the Fitbit, but to help people register more their triggers and be more tuned into their mind, body, spirit connection. It's a really great idea, and she immediately got, when I say immediately, I mean the first week, $1.5 million grant from the government to invest in this, and she's been up-leveling ever since then. I am nicknamed Beast of Manifestation. Sure, for me, but actually in also bringing in this blessed system that I have, but that I've also learned to cultivate on behalf of others to help start the ball rolling of the manifestations and bringing on board the new life that you're actually meant to be birthing and innovating now, and then bringing in the guidance of the next step as you get freer and more aligned and able to bring in that guidance yourself. I'll be running clearings and activations on your courage, so you'll have the courage to follow that guidance, never mind the doubting of the intuitive guidance that just isn't happening in this context. So it's new times, and I know you feel it. You want to shake off the old like a dog shakes off water off his coat. From one Maverick to another, I invite you to begin the process that isn't slow, but it is a process of uncovering and bringing forth your unique Maverick game-changing self. We're going to activate that dragon within you that is your Maverick dragon. So follow the link and it'll show you where you can get started. I look forward to matching this field with yours. Namaste.